second thing we would use, we want to add to the melody the percussions. Okay, we lay the percussions down on top of the melody first to give it some rhythm. Okay, so we got the melody and we got the percussions. Now, I grew up playing the drums and bongos. It's nothing I love more than to hear a tight snare, kick drum, hi-hat. I love to hear that banging through the speakers. I use bells, toms, all kind of percussions in my music. I pan them left and right. You listen to a Trey Boy track, you'll hear all kind of things going on in the background and sounds and samples panning on, my left and your right. I'm putting up my hands. I know some of you guys probably can't see me, but if you're listening on the podcast, but if you're on video, then you see. Yeah, so I have samples that I use all the time, and I use the percussions, and I have them panned left and right. Let me give you a secret. When you have the percussions going over the melody, this gets the people's heads bobbing. When that beat comes in, you ever listen to a song when the beat drops and you felt the song take off and the beat grabbed you and your ears, you made that ugly face like, ooh, that joint is fire, man. That's how the percussion lays over the melody. It's like, man, when the percussions hit the melody is tight and the percussion's on top of that. Yeah, that's that effect of what drums, or in this case, percussions, do in the song with a tight melody. What are percussions? Somebody may be asking. It's not just drums, but percussions are musical instruments played by striking with the hand or with a handheld or pedal-operated stick or beater, or by shaking it. This includes the drums, cymbals, gongs, bells, and rattles. This instrument would get a crowd going. Like the dude said on the Kanye track, this gets the people going. He was like, man, this gets the crowd hype, man. Why? Because everybody loves a tight beat. If you have a tight beat, you just can't deny it. I don't care what you listen to, rock and roll, hip hop, R&B, pop. Look, man, a tight beat is universal. So what do I start off with? Most of the times I start off with a snare, a snap, or a clap. Most of the time that's what I start off with. I look for a sample that feels good to me, something that has chemistry with the melody. Then I add the kick drum and do the same. I find the best sounding kick that fits the melody and snare that I added. Okay, then let me say this. Unless you're in a competition to see who can finish creating the beat the fastest, don't rush this process. Take your time finding the right kick, snare, and hi-hat, and whatever else you use as a percussion to sound good with the sample. If you rush the process, you'll just create something that doesn't sound right to your ears. If you randomly choose different samples that really doesn't connect with your melody or connect with you, don't rush the process. Find percussions that feel right to you. You've been listening to music all your life. You know what you like. You know what sounds good to you. Stick with that. You're not going to be able to please everybody, but you need to be able to feel it yourself. And your audience, the people who you are here to create music for, would dig your music, period. The next percussion I'll add in this is the hi-hat. There are several styles of hi-hats. Electronic hi-hats, open hi-hats, closed hi-hats. The list goes on. Go through your sample vault and see which sounds the best to match your track. Now, this is the basics of building a beat. Of course, you can add cymbals, toms, and other sound effects to brighten your track. As you start producing more, you will see you have to go to sound kits that you use the most. Okay, you might be wondering, okay, where can I get these from? You can download these samples online. Some are free, some of them you would have to purchase. I purchased samples from theproducerschoice.com, Loop Masters, the Sample Lab, Clint Productions. If I hear some tight melodies or samples, I'll download that sample because I may need some inspiration later on just to listen to make a track. But that's just to name a few. Clint has some nice melody packs, and he's also a talented producer who specializes in producing music for TV and film. He also teaches music producers how to get their music on TV and film as well. You can find him on IG, like I said. Check him out. I'll see if I can get him on the podcast in the future so we can discuss this lucrative business. He kills it doing what he do. But before we can present our beats to TV and movies and music managers, we have to first learn how to produce a dope beat consistently. Okay, that's what we have to start doing first. Don't put the cart before the horse. But I want you to know there are different lanes you can take advantage of, and there are several streams of income that would be at your disposal when you develop the skill of a music producer. All right, you'll be able to take advantage of all of this. Don't get it twisted. This isn't the old days when producers only had a couple of ways of getting paid and make money from their skills. Those days are long gone. We have so many people out here making content, and they need music for their content, period. So if you want to be a music producer, this is the time to get in. Once you develop the skill of a music producer and you start creating beats, you can make money several different ways. If you checked out my course, if you already have it, The Beginner's Guide to Creating and Selling Dope Beats Online Blueprint, you know we discuss all the different streams of income that a music producer has available to them.